Today we're making a delicious Spanish dish, that is the Tortilla Española. It is just eggs, potatoes, onions, and olive oil. The key is on how you handle them and the temperature control and finesse while preparing the ingredients. Let's get started. Pour 1 cup of good quality extra virgin olive oil and set your temperature to medium-low. We're aiming to confit our ingredients, not fry them. The next step would be to peel and slice your potatoes, and then you'll have to slice your onions thinly and evenly so they can all get caramelized when you put them in the pan in the olive oil. It's important to remember to hold your knife appropriately. If you hold it from the back, it's easier for it to go sideways when you're trying to cut something very precisely. So I prefer to grab it from the front and with my thumb on the back at the very top of the blade, and that allows me to have way more firm grip on the blade, and it allows me to slice through the ingredients in a more smooth way. The potatoes, you can cut them quite small. I would suggest cutting them into very similar shape and size slices, so you have the ability to cook them at the same pace. Now we'll do the same with the rest of our potatoes. Nope, not there, that's the trash. Now we're going to do the same thing with our onions. We're just going to peel them and slice them very thinly. I find it very easy to peel when you have it, and it allows you to take those external layers off so you don't need to struggle. Perfect. Now this one will come right off. Extremely simple. And there you have it. Now for the slicing part, cut here. You can continue down very thinly, which allows you to get very thin, separate layers of the onion that you can then easily caramelize. Perfect. There you go. Same thing with this one. I'll just take this piece off for now, and then we'll do the same thing. So now we have our onions thinly sliced. I'll just put them in a separate bowl, and we'll have to throw them in the pan with the olive oil, let them caramelize for around 30 minutes. The next step is to add our onions and our potatoes to the olive oil and let them confit very slowly. What do I mean by confit? We're going to very, very gently fry them, but it's not a regular fry. You're frying them at a very low temperature, which allows all of those sugars in the onions to caramelize, and the same happens with the potatoes. It allows them to soften smoothly, soften slow, get golden brown, and cook through in a very low heat. It's important to calculate or recalculate the amount of oil that you're using the first time, and it should be covering most of the surface of the potatoes and onions. So I will add a little bit more of oil here. Leave them there. In this case, and we'll allow them to slowly caramelize, which probably will take around 30 to 35 minutes. So we'll come back and check on them in a minute. If you give them a little stir every few minutes, you'll start to realize that the onions will start to soften, the potatoes will start to be a little soft and golden colored, and the most important part, which I love, is that the kitchen will smell amazing. We won't salt them yet because we're gonna wait until a little bit later in the process to allow them to cook while the onions and the potatoes are caramelizing in the back. I'm gonna crack a few eggs so we can beat them. The ratio here is probably 4 eggs, full eggs, and then 2 egg yolks. That'll make the mixture a little bit juicier. And to separate the yolk from the white, you can crack your egg, open it, and you can simply let the white flow down, and then you'll just pass it back and forward between the 2 parts of the shell that you just cracked, and that'll allow you to isolate the yolk on one side. We'll add that, and we'll do the same with the other second egg. Full eggs. We're going to beat the eggs. We don't want to integrate a lot of air so they look homogeneous, and we can set them aside until our potatoes and onions are ready. Once they look like that, your mixture is ready. Now we can see that the texture of the potatoes and the onions is way softer. They've been cooking it for about 30 minutes now. We don't want them to turn into mush. We want them to hold their shape. So we're gonna cut the heat now, and we're going to transfer them and drain the oil into a separate container. So now very carefully, we're gonna take our potato and onion mixture, and we're going to drain them slowly. Once that's done, we'll transfer them to another bowl. This oil you can use to cook eggs in the morning, you can use to cook other dishes. It's already seasoned with some onion, so it's delicious to use for other dishes. The egg and potato mixture will end up in this bowl, but for now our onions and potatoes look like that. We're going to gently stir in the eggs into the potatoes and onion mixture without mushing them. We'll have to just fold the mixture in, and it'll start to temper the egg slowly with the heat that was retained by the onions and potatoes. We don't want it to turn into scrambled eggs. Also, we don't want to destroy the potatoes, so we'll just carefully stir them. We'll just take a couple of pinches of salt, and that should do for the entire mixture. You don't want to over salt it, so we'll just carefully fold it in. And you start to notice how the egg starts to set with the heat that's coming from the potatoes and onions. And this is one of the uses of the other oil that was left from the potatoes and onions. I'll use just a tiny bit of oil to season the pan. I'll start heating it, and I'll show you how we can add the mixture to the pan and how to treat it and let it set for a few seconds. I would recommend that you preheat your pan to a degree where the oil is really liquid just before it starts smoking, before adding any of the mixture to your pan. The mixture, as you can see, is very thick now. The egg has set, so that'll allow us to keep that texture in the inside and quickly give it a sear and set the outside of the tortilla. That's starting from now. It's a matter of seconds, so we'll just add the mixture to the bottom of our pan. Probably around that is enough for me, and we'll just leave it set. We'll use our spatula to set it down. We'll turn the heat up, and we'll want to keep it moving so it forms a film on the outside, but it keeps it moist on the inside. We'll start. So probably around 30 seconds in, is when we'll need to do the flip. And a key tip here is to add a little water to your dish, make it touch all the surfaces, have your dish ready, and I'll show you how to flip it. Start. So we'll add our dish on top. We'll do a quick flip. You have your tortilla there, and from there, since it's got some water in it, it should slide easily into the pan again to form the tortilla. You can start to round the edges with your spatula, and this will be a matter of seconds until the film in the bottom part is also formed. We'll leave it around there, which has been probably 15-20 seconds after flipping it. So from the pan, at this point it should be pretty soft inside. We're just going to transfer it over to our plate, and that should conclude the basic steps for having a delicious tortilla. I like to season it with some smoked paprika on top, just to give it a little depth of flavor. And that's about it. So we'll see how it looks like. Perfect. So now the only thing left to do is enjoy. It's delicious no matter how you make it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.